What's going on out there? It's Larry Jiggers coming to you with another Blazing Sports Report. Right now we're going to get into this latest Dwight Howard, Stan Van Gundy beef that's been going on in Orlando for quite some time now. Dwight Howard said he's going to sit out the rest of the season and the postseason if Van Gundy is still the coach, just because he doesn't like Stan Van Gundy. Now this is a report. I don't know if this is true or not, but it seems like the more that happens with Dwight Howard in the public's eye, the more he tries to make himself look good in the public's eye. Here's my thing. I've lost completely all respect for Dwight Howard as a basketball player in terms of his immaturity level and his ignorance to the game of basketball. Without Stan Van Gundy, he wouldn't be the man that he is today, and unfortunately for Stan Van Gundy, it may end up costing him his job. Sure, Stan Van Gundy is a tough coach. Yes, he criticizes his players publicly, but this is the thing. Does that public criticization of your performance do not make you want to go out and perform even harder the next night? Look at what it's done to Dwight Howard over his career. His numbers have steadily increased every year. The man is a 3-time Defensive Player of the Year, having the defense anchored around him, because Van Gundy knows that Dwight Howard working by himself in the middle is a force to be reckoned with all in its own. Now, he surrounded him with players on numerous occasions that let him operate in the paint by himself. Now, when you are operating by yourself, that means you have free will to work, because there's no one else down there with you. It's usually you one-on-one with another opponent. And if the double team comes, you need to have the vision in order to move the ball to get it to the people who are open on the perimeter. We know this is a perimeter-oriented offense that we have here in Orlando. So if Dwight Howard's beef is with him not getting the ball, that is absolutely ludicrous. He has to touch the ball in order for this offense to work. Just because you don't have the vision and capabilities to get the ball out to the people who need it when they need it, it's not Van Gundy's fault. That's your fault on not improving your game to the level that you need to in order to make this team successful. Now, in the case of Stan Van Gundy versus Dwight Howard, whose side am I on? I'm on Stan Van Gundy's side, because he is undoubtedly the best coach that the Orlando Magic have ever had in their existence in the National Basketball Association. Now, come this offseason, what would I do with Dwight Howard? Personally, I would trade him, for the simple fact you can always trade a star player and start rebuilding again, and eventually the dividends will pay off. There will be a lot of talent in this upcoming draft. You trade him for a top 5 lottery pick, and you are definitely setting yourself up for success in the future. The Magic still have their first round pick, and by coupling that with a lottery pick, who knows what the capabilities can do. I say if you're going to trade a big man, you can use your lottery pick, if necessary, to get you a guy like an Anthony Davis or Andre Drummond, who are both considered top 5 talents, and use your second pick on a good wing player. Or you can go vice versa, get you a good wing player and get you somebody late in the draft like a Festus Ezeli or a Fab Melo, and still move forward with the team that you have now. Now, when you look at this offseason, it's going to be a tumultuous offseason, because we don't know what the future of Stan Van Gundy is going to hold. Knowing how this team is wanting to rally around the front office organization of the Orlando Magic, want to rally around Dwight Howard more than they want to do Stan Van Gundy, is absolutely ludicrous to me. It is a lot harder, in my opinion, to replace a head coach. Let's not forget what happened after Doc Rivers left. We went from Johnny Davis to some guy I can't even remember. Before we even got to Van Gundy, they brought back Brian Hill. I mean, come on, man. It's been a never-ending cycle. We finally got a coach that is good enough for this team to produce, and look at what it's done, not only for Dwight Howard's career, but for Jameer Nelson's career when he started to flourish even in the finals. Even though they brought him back early in the finals, the year that we went to the finals before he got hurt, Jameer Nelson was an absolute baller. I said it was an aberration of his talents, because we all know that's not the real Jameer Nelson. But anyways, that's a whole nother story. Ryan Anderson has flourished. JJ Redick has flourished. Earl Clark has shown flashes when he has gotten the opportunity to play. Quentin Richardson loves the offense. I mean, come on, everybody loves it. The only people that suck in this offense, in my opinion, are Jason Richardson and Chris Duhon, and those guys are very, very easily like wasteful pieces, who I absolutely abhor that the Magic have even drafted them into this Magic organization. Not drafted, but actually brought them in as free agents. Now, here's my thing. I side with Van Gundy, because it's harder to find you a good coach to replace a team, to replace for your team, when you know that there's rarely any candidates out there to be had. Now, everybody says they want to let Patrick Ewing get his chance to coach the team. Well, this is my thing. I haven't seen Patrick Ewing coach a game in Stan Van Gundy's absence yet. We've seen him do what was it, the rookie-sophomore game when Van Gundy was the coach then, but that's a rookie-sophomore game. That means nothing to it in terms of actual NBA play. Now, I don't know, a lot of people may look at this the other way and say you need a franchise center in order to do this. Put it this way, bodies come along all the time. You can always get something in return for a star player that will absolutely set you up for the future. When you look at what happened in the Melo deal, when you look at what happened in the Shaq deal, it's a lot of deals you can look at in terms of talent being traded away and getting pieces back. But in terms of this Dwight Howard, Stan Van Gundy saga, look at, I don't know what's going on with the Magic organization. I don't know if the Magic just have that much faith in Dwight Howard staying if they get rid of Van Gundy or what. But here's the thing. After next season, Chris Paul becomes a free agent. This offseason, Darren Williams becomes a free agent. Also, Ryan Anderson becomes a free agent. After next year, I think Jameer Nelson also becomes a free agent. Hedo Turkoglu becomes a free agent. There's a lot of things that will happen with this Magic organization to set them up for the next couple of years. But the thing is, are the Magic going to be smart enough to do it without a coach leading them the way? When I look at candidates out there to be had, I don't really know. Maybe we can get us some diamond in the rough like a Frank Vogel. Maybe Patrick Ewing can be that kind of guy. But as of right now, we don't know. Dwight Howard is absolutely disgusting. How immature that this man is. How arrogant that he can be. How he can just up and say he's going to quit on his team leading into the playoffs. Like, there's no big thing going on right now. We know that this team without Dwight Howard as it currently stands will absolutely be horrible in the playoffs. They have absolutely no chance of making it out the first round, even though they will be matching up with the Indiana Pacers. The Pacers are playing at a high level right now. We don't have the athleticism to match up with these guys on the defensive end. Can we score with them? Probably, but the thing is, we all know the Magic live and die by the 3. I don't know what's going to happen with this team. Dwight Howard, in my opinion, if you can play, you need to shut up and play. Don't worry about the coaching situation. You go out there, you do your job to the best of your abilities. You've always said that you love this team, you love this city. If you love this team, why are you going to quit on your teammates just because of one guy? It makes no sense to me. You need to tighten up and learn how to just suck it up and play ball and do what you're being paid millions of dollars to do, which is entertain us and make sure that you do everything in your power to bring us a championship. If not, it's a waste of money, you're a waste of space in this city, and you're a waste of talent on this team. And I'd rather see you go on somewhere instead of being here handicapping us for the next few years of our existence here in the NBA. This is Larry Jenkins, Blazers Sports Report. I'll holler at y'all. Peace.